Good morning, fifth. How are you today? Well, we're going to start working with modal verbs in the present. Yes, then in some weeks we will see modal verbs in the past. But today we are going to concentrate on modal verbs in the present. Yes. Okay, before we start, we use modal verbs before other verbs to add a special meaning to a sentence. Yes. For example, ability, advice, permission, obligation, possibility. Yes, we want to reinforce the idea of ability, permission, advice, obligation, possibility. Well, which are these modal verbs in English in the present? We start with can. Can connected to ability and connected to permission. We use can or can't to talk about ability in the present. David can speak 3 languages. Could is the past of can. He could speak fluent French when he was 5. Can, as regards permission. Can I sit in that chair, please? Or the typical, can I go to the toilet? Or when we say, he can play the guitar. Or, I can't see you in the dark. Yes? Okay. Should. When we use should or shouldn't, we use should to ask for and give advice or make recommendations. Yes? Should to ask for and give advice or make recommendations. You should visit the dentist, your dentist, at least twice a year. You should try to lose weight in the case of someone who has to lose kilos because his or her blood pressure is high, for example. When you ask for or you need help, what should I do? Advice. You should call for help. What should I do? You should call for help. Okay. Must and have to are connected to obligation. What is the difference? Must is a strong obligation. A strong obligation in the present in this case. I must memorize all of these rules about tenses. I must wash my hands a lot of times in a day to avoid the coronavirus. Yes? Have to is an obligation, but is not such a strong obligation. Yes, it is more connected to necessity. Something needs to be done. Yes, in the case, you have to take off your shoes before you get into the mosque. Mosque es una mezquita. Yes? Meaning it is necessary to take off my shoes. Or you can say, you know that these days doctors are recommending that we sunbathe at least 10-15 minutes per day so as to get vitamin D that will help our bones and it will help us to fight the coronavirus. Yes, vitamin D is connected to bones. So doctors are saying, as a recommendation, you have to sunbathe 15 minutes a day to get vitamin D. Sunbathe means tomar sol. So they recommend you have to sunbathe. That is, it is necessary that you sunbathe to get vitamin D. So have to is an obligation, but it is not such a strong obligation as must. Then you have other verbs that are connected to possibility. Might, possibility in the present or in the future, may. Then you have could and can, but we are going to see them in the following weeks, not today. Okay. All these are the modal verbs in the present. Can, should, and must are used without the word to. We put an infinitive without to after most modal verbs. Which are those modal verbs? Can, should, must. We must go. You can't say we must to go. I can't hear them. It is incorrect if you say I can't to hear them. We do not add an S to modal verbs when talking about the third person, he, she, or it. He can stay. You can't add an S here. You cannot say he can stay. We do not use do or does with modal verbs to form negatives, questions, or short answers. He might not come. Can I see her? No, you can't. I cannot say here, do I see her? Or can I see her? No, you don't. These modal verbs do not need the help of the auxiliaries when making questions, negative sentences, or short answers. Can I see her? No, you can't. The one that is different is have to. I told you that it was connected to obligation, but not a strong obligation, more like a necessity. Why is it different? Well, first of all, because it is followed by to. Can, should, must, might, may, could, and can aren't followed by to. But have to is followed by to, the infinitive to. And when we want to say a sentence in the negative form, have a look at this one. She has to hurry. The negative of this sentence is she doesn't have to hurry. I have to leave. I don't have to leave. I cannot say I haven't to leave, because have here is not possession. It's obligation, necessity. Yes, so when you want to write the negative form, you cannot say I haven't. Or in this case, she hasn't to hurry. You need the auxiliary. For has, doesn't have. For have, don't have. Yes? So, well, we are going to continue practicing this in the book. If you have any questions or any doubts, please ask me in the foro de consultas. But it's not difficult. Yes, you have to remember these special details, yes, and you will do it fine. I'm sure about it. Yes, remember, can, ability or permission, should, advice, must and have to, obligation. Have to is more a necessity than an obligation. And these group of verbs, possibility. The negative form of can, can't. The negative form of should, shouldn't. Must, mustn't. Have to, don't have to, doesn't have to. Might, might not. May, may not. Could, could not. Can, cannot. You know it, yes? Okay, well, so these are the modals in the present. Remember, if you have any questions, you ask. See you.